Blessed afternoon, souls. Man, the energy is funky right now. I've been trying to just not resist, to just let it flow all day. Woke up just feeling empty, like a dead space, like a transition, like things changing, like something up in the air just floating there, like the space in between channels. And we're in kind of a void energetically, it feels like, between the aspect of Mercury with Neptune and Venus on the 28th. This would be the dead center of that. Not to mention the powerful aspects coming up in January, two involving the North Node, lots involving Aquarius and Pisces. A lot of course correcting occurring. But man, this just feels icky. And it's not my energy. I mean, my energy's in here. We're all connected. It's collective. But it's broad. There's layers to it. Frustration, that emptiness, loneliness, but also an agitation, an anger, a realization that we might have missed something. A feeling like we missed the boat, held ourselves back, and then that judgment right after, that self-loathing. It's all right here. It's like this thread, like you've swallowed a thread, like something caught in your throat, something choking you from the inside. And I feel a little bit like crying, but it's stuck. It's stuck too. It's like everything moving through tar, through sap. And I feel very distant, not in my body, not really anywhere. And I want to express this. I want to let it out, to help it transmute, to let it do whatever it wants to do. It just feels invisible, intangible, and transient, in between. I don't know that there is really a message here in the cards. There's not a message here. It's just expressing this energy. I just feel like a deer in headlights. Everything here is just stuck. It's calcified, it's solidified, it's somebody knowing they gotta walk away. It does feel like the moment just before, like knowing what you have to do. but feeling all the strength sapped from your body, feeling stuck, just suspended, hanging there. That in-between sensation again, somewhere between the past, all that no longer serves, all that is dead, passed away, and actually stepping into even the present, the now. This isn't future, this is now. Soul growth, Hierophant underneath. It's like waiting for something to be revealed. Something you know is coming. Something you know is right there. Just beneath the surface. And yet, it's not coming. It doesn't seem like it is. And you're just staring into the distance, staring off. God, it feels so disconnected. That space between the past and the present. Again, having let go of something that's holding us back, but nothing else changed. It's a strange, almost dizzying sensation. I feel like I'm not awake right now. This all feels totally unreal. And that is the case many times. My dreams, my experience of non-three-dimensional reality are more tangible in a lot of ways. It just feels like floating through space. Not sure how far I'm going to get into this. But I'm curious to see what comes out. It's like a slow motion, like slow-mo car crash. Just everything slowed down, time warping. Just falling apart gradually, just watching it happen. Like seeing lightning strike, but it takes 10 minutes for the bolt to reach its destination. It's just all slow-mo. Wow. Death. Mid-transformation. Like something we're not supposed to see. Something that's supposed to be a secret of the universe. Like seeing in between the seams of the fabric of reality. Like watching watching something decay. Watching it burn again in slow motion. Just seeing like a body in the desert, under the sun, in full view, and just slowly deteriorating, sped up and yet slowed down. Some impossible combination. Feeling like you're being thrown from a moving vehicle in slow motion. This is the happiest card in the tarot. This doesn't feel happy. Directly connecting to the Tower with death in between. Like having your eyes held open. And all these images flashing on the screen, it just made me think of when I used to pass out, vasovagal syncope. Just before having an attack, I would get very nauseous, sweaty, shaky, lightheaded. I knew it was going to happen. And then, in an instant, I was somewhere else. And the somewhere else was what felt like an IMAX theater, full screen, impossible to see anything else. You can't look away, there's nowhere else to look. And just images flashing in front of me. Impossibly fast, too fast to comprehend, to see really even. And this high-pitched whining, like a machine, increasing in speed. And when I had those dreams, in real life I was seizing. I'd been tested. They said I'm not epileptic. In fact, they didn't even call them seizures. They just said I presented with seizure-like symptoms. But it felt like dying. It felt like dying, and every time I was sure that's what was happening. Like being sucked through a pinhole. The entirety of your expanded consciousness just forced into this space by a vacuum. And every time I awoke, I couldn't see. It was all static. What happens when you pass out? Your vision fades, but it was fading back in. And the first thing that I thought every time was, did I die that time? Where am I going to wake up? And I couldn't recognize anything. It always took a couple of minutes just to regain consciousness, and that was with a struggle. That's what this feels like, the struggle to regain consciousness. Pins and needles behind your eyes. Everything different, everything changed. You don't recognize a single thing. Not the faces leaning in, not the space surrounding you, not even your own skin. cobweb on the breeze. Everything is changing. The world is not the same. Again, like seeing the cycles happening all at once. A sudden awareness that feels like too much. It's overwhelming, overstimulation, electrocution. A world with the tower above it. Like the end of one life and the beginning of another taking place simultaneously, and the consciousness awake for all of it, aware, retaining the memory, almost fully conscious to this process, like being awake during a medical procedure. Not pleasant. Disconnection. Like being taken totally offline and having your components rewired. But again, you're awake for it. Participating even. An out-of-body experience. Seeing yourself lying on a table. I don't know what this is or where it's coming from. It's just like a mist. Thicker than a fog. It's viscous. Like it's seeping into your eyes. I can feel it on this side too. Right here. Just pressure. And I'm just seeing swirling. All just disjointed, disconnected. The world shifted beneath your feet, like just everything flipped. And again, full awareness of this process. I think I gotta stop. Just hearing I want to give up. I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. There could be some people transitioning today. I've never tapped into that before. It's just that void. total lack of feeling, numbness. And I have felt that. I've felt that before. I wanted to die for a long time. For a long time. Or more accurately, I just wanted to stop existing. From the time I was 11. I don't know why this is all just coming out, but I'm letting it. I stopped feeling. And for a long time I forgot what it even felt like to be happy. To really feel anything at all. And I just wanted to fade away. I just wanted to be a cloud again. I wanted to be the air. To be fire. Those things I could feel. I could remember. But this didn't make sense. This is what that feels like. It's such a longing to be free. Really free. Truly connected again the way that non-physical is. I used to daydream about sitting on the edge of a building. And it was comforting to think that if I wanted to, I could just jump. That was a comfort, that thought. It's not wrong to feel this way. It wasn't wrong to think that. This world has become so disconnected, so disjointed, so separate from self. And there are so many who are just so desperate to feel that connection again. Just like I was. I think a lot of people are leaving. And some of this is connected to the people around them, too. I've had 2 friends who took their own lives. One of them, my best friend in high school. He's my guide now. They're both in here. But him in particular, Jim, that's his name. Don't wear it out, he says. He's a part of a special group and non-physical. group of souls who all have chosen to clearly make their transition on purpose. All transition is intentional. But there's a different signature attached when someone takes their own life. They have their own collective, a part of all collective, but he says they're here to help with that. They're taking people home, helping them realize they never left home. It's been here. It's still here. But they're guiding them through the dimensions. You've got a straight shot, he says. Nobody's gonna get stuck. Nobody left behind. None of that fourth dimensional crap where the false light hangs out. We've got a path around that, he says. And everyone goes straight to source. He says he doesn't know why I'm crying so much. There's nothing sad about it. Nobody's going anywhere. Not really. I don't know exactly why I'm crying either. It doesn't matter. I just want it to come out. I want it to express. There's so much emotion attached to this that's been repressed. They'll be back pretty soon, he says. I'm just trying to listen now. He would like me to point out that he is kind of a big deal. He's playing a major role in this process. All of them are, of course. But he's a little bit of a ringleader. It's why he never came back. Not yet. He transitioned in 2010. Oh, God. This is... I gotta get a tissue. There's a lot of people returning to non-physical because they want to, because they know they're free, because they know that life's eternal. There's nothing wrong with transitioning. They've got more power over there. There's more for them to learn and more for them to do. And they want to be there so they can help. So they can help us manifest New Earth. The one that they want to come back to. That they're going to come back to. An Earth that's kinder. And more connected. Where souls recognize each other. We don't play with any of this karmic bullshit. The cycles are done. Kaput. That's why so many people are checking out right now. It's their path of least resistance. It's surrendering all that is no longer serving them. He says, I was experiencing a part of what it's like to transition, but it's not so unhappy. He says, my human body and ability to worry makes the energy feel a lot heavier than it is. It's not heavy, it's light. That's why it felt empty. It's the lightest kind. Pure light. Buoyant. Effervescent. Everybody's really okay. You're all making a much bigger deal of this than you need to. But we get it. We know it's because you love us. And it isn't lost on us. We appreciate you. And you can keep crying if you want. But anytime you like, you can see the bigger picture. That nothing has gone wrong and nothing is ever lost. There's no death, only transition. Isn't that what you say all the time? He's reminding me. You're allowed to forget. That's a part of all of this. You forget so you can remember again. There's nothing else anybody needs to know, other than everything is going according to plan. It's all working out perfectly for the highest good, for the benefit of all. And everybody who's choosing to leave now, they're not making a mistake. Everything is just right. They're going to help line things up from the other side. And they'll come back. They'll come back in their own time. Soon. He's telling me to go eat some food that I would think more clearly, not on an empty stomach. And just reiterating that nothing has gone wrong. Not here, not anywhere. Not anywhere in existence. It's not possible for things to go wrong. It can only go right. He says it all makes a lot more sense. Up here, back here, in a higher dimension. From this perspective, you see how everything's aligned. You see how it all works out for everybody all the time. It always is. Even when we we don't think it, even when we think it's impossible. Everything that is possible, and everything that isn't. It's all based on what you want, where you focus your perspective. But even then, you can't mess it up. You're all too good. That's what you are. There's never been a bad thing in all of creation. And so it's only going to get more good. We just got to trust. Have faith in ourselves. Have faith in them. In all of the non-physical aspects and attention. All of the energy that's being given to this, directed towards this. He says there's a fuckload. Shit you wouldn't even believe. You don't know the things I've seen now. Trust me. This is what he's saying. Just trust me. That's it. Wrap it up, he says. You've cried enough. The energy's expressed. It does feel better. Lighter. More connected. Less disjointed. It's restoring now. What was decaying is renewing, refleshing. That's an interesting one. Filling out again in another form. That's how it works. One thing ends so another begins, but it's all just continual, perpetual progression from one to the next. He says I should listen to myself sometimes. There's good stuff in there. All right. That's it. I'm honored to express this. And for anyone here, thank you for your witness. And thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for existing. We're all warriors, he says. But we're not fighting, we're championing. The war is at an end. There wasn't ever really one to begin with, but now the struggle, the competition, it's over. And our campaign is one of restoring natural order, of returning light to the land, and letting all things be renewed by the truth of eternal life and pure love, unconditioned. That is our glory. And stories will be told of this in ages to come. All right. Enough of this, he says. That sun's feeling a little happier now, I gotta say. Towers toppling so the fields can be renewed, made fresh. Bad trees cut down so that good seeds can be planted. Things disconnected so that new ones new connections, meaningful, lasting ones can be made. Love lit by the sun. Oh, all right. I think I'm done. Thank you for being here, but mostly just for being. I appreciate you. And always, always, in every vector of time and space, I love you.